The world is currently obsessed with the desert of Saudi Arabia. We've seen the mirrored walls of the line, the neon lights of Neom, and the trillion-dollar dreams of a crown prince. It's a vision of the future that feels alien, top-down, and frankly, a bit terrifying. But while the global spotlight was fixed on the Middle East, a silent challenger was rising right here in the American West. This is Telosa, a $400 billion metropolis designed to house 5 million people from scratch. It isn't just a city. It's a radical experiment to fix a broken American dream that many feel has already slipped away. Built on what is currently worthless desert land, scouted across Nevada, Utah, and Arizona, it promises no cars, zero pollution, and a brand new version of capitalism called equitism. This is a system where the citizens, not the developers, actually own the land beneath their feet. On one side, you have the authoritarian, glass-walled vision of Neom. On the other, the city of equity, a billionaire's plan to build the most inclusive, sustainable, and transparent city on Earth. The architect of logistics. To understand how we got here, you have to understand the man behind the curtain, Mark Lohr. He isn't your typical dreamer. He's the hyperlogical entrepreneur who built Jetcom and sold it to Walmart for over $3 billion before running Walmart's entire U.S. e-commerce division. He is a master of logistics, a man who views the world as a series of systems to be optimized. And through his lens, the American city is the most inefficient system of all. Lohr realized that the greatest wealth in history wasn't made by selling products, but by owning the land they sit on. In our current cities, when a community gets better, when schools improve or parks are built, the land gets more expensive. But that wealth doesn't go to the people who made the neighborhood great. It goes to private landlords and developers. The rich get richer and the working class gets priced out. Lohr's solution is a radical economic pivot. In Telosa, the land, all 150,000 acres of it, will be donated to a community endowment. As the city grows from a patch of sand into a trillion-dollar hub, that massive surge in land value is funneled directly back into the city's schools, universal healthcare, and high-tech infrastructure. It's a self-funding utopia that claims to solve the wealth gap before the first brick is even laid. The four-level underworld. To design this world, Lohr hired Bjarke Ingels, the starchitect famous for buildings that defy traditional logic. But the most shocking part of the big master plan isn't what you see on the surface, it's what's happening underneath. Telosa is designed on a four-level infrastructure system. Level 1, deep underground, we find the production, heavy transport, and cargo functions. This is where the city's organs live, automated waste sorting and industrial hubs. Level 2, the communication layer. This is the fiber optic and engineering nervous system of the city. Level 3, social and public functions, housing the mechanical systems that keep the 15-minute city running. Level 4, the surface level. This is reserved exclusively for people, recreation, and nature. Imagine a city where you never see a garbage truck or a delivery van. They are all moving silently beneath your feet in the cargo tunnels. The surface is a garden. This 15-minute city layout ensures that your job, your school, and your favorite park are all within a short walk or cycle ride. There are no traditional roads. Instead, the city's veins are filled with the SkyTram system and G2A transport, autonomous electric pods that glide along the ground for short trips, and then take off into the air as eVTOLs, electric vertical takeoff and landing, to avoid any hint of congestion. The Equitism Tower and the water gamble. At the very center of this sprawling desert flower stands the Equitism Tower. It isn't just a skyscraper, it's a vertical ecosystem. It houses massive aeroponic farms to feed the city, giant atmospheric water generators to hydrate it, and public terraces that act as the Statue of Liberty for a new era. But this brings us to the most controversial question: where will the water come from? The proposed sites are in the middle of a historic megadrought. To support 5 million people, Telosa plans to implement a circular materials economy. It will store, clean, and reuse every single drop of water on site with 90% higher efficiency than a traditional city. It aims for zero stack emissions and 100% renewable energy. Yet, critics argue that building a city of 5 million in a parched wasteland is a suicide mission. They point to the Colorado River's decline and ask if a billionaire's dream can really survive the reality of a warming planet. Democracy versus the line. The most fascinating comparison is Telosa vs. Saudi Arabia's The Line. While the line is a high-density, 170 km mirrored cage controlled by an absolute monarchy, Telosa is an open city. Lore's vision includes participatory governance. Every city meeting, every budget decision, and every correspondence with city officials will be on the public record. All citizens will have a digital vote in how the land endowment's billions are spent. But as spectacular as the renderings look, Telosa faces a mountain of skepticism. Unlike Neom, which is funded by oil billions, Telosa needs to raise $400 billion from private investors and public grants. We've seen failed utopias before, like Arcosanti in Arizona, which was planned for 5,000 people but only has 70 residents today. Is Telosa a genuine blueprint for the future of humanity, or just the ultimate vanity project for a billionaire who has run out of things to buy? Conclusion: as our current legacy cities like San Francisco and New York struggle with aging infrastructure, crime, and soaring costs, the dream of a clean slate has never been more tempting. The first phase of Telosa, designed for 50,000 residents, is slated to begin construction by 2030. Would you leave the comfort of the coast to move to a billionaire's experiment in the desert? Would you trade your private land for a stake in a community endowment? The race for the 21st century city has officially begun, and the desert is the finish line.